be a case of I told you so in India. Welcome to the Daily Forkast, May 24th, 2022. I'm Megha Chaddah of Forkast, covering all things blockchain. With crypto markets stuck in the red, the Reserve Bank of India's governor says the RBI has been right to caution investors against cryptocurrencies. We'll take a look at that plus a whole lot more coming up. Let's get you up to speed from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
Let's kick off with more on the Terra saga. South Korean police are now reportedly investigating a Terraform Labs employee for alleged embezzlement. According to local media reports, the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency's Cybercrimes Investigation Unit is currently in the process of fact-checking a report suspecting the employee of embezzling corporate funds. In a related investigation, police have also requested local cryptocurrency exchanges freeze funds under the Luna Foundation Guard or LFG. The police are planning to check for illegal funds within Terraform Labs and LFG by examining fund transaction details. Any amounts determined to be illegal funds can be confiscated. Meanwhile, the two co-founders of Terraform Labs, Do Kwon and Shin Hyun Sung, are being investigated by the Seoul's Southern District Prosecutor's Office following a lawsuit filed by at least 5 Terra Luna investors. You can find that story and a whole lot more at Forkast.news. Over in India, the recent tumble in the crypto market is being put in the spotlight, with Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das emphasizing they've been cautioning against the digital asset. Forecast Monica Ghosh reports from India.
They've been right all along. This is the stand of Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das as the crypto market remains in the red. In an exclusive interview with a local media outlet, Das said that if crypto had been regulated in the country leading up to the recent disaster in the Terra ecosystem, investors would have questioned the effectiveness of the law. While the Indian government has often said that it won't shut out crypto completely, the central bank has called for a ban on multiple occasions. In the interview, Das even described crypto's underlying value as nothing. He said that the central bank's position remains very clear. Crypto will seriously undermine the monetary, financial, and macroeconomic stability of India. He added that the RBI and the government are in sync on their stance on crypto regulation because the government is equally concerned. Last April, India imposed a 30% tax on all gains made from cryptocurrencies, while a 1% tax deducted at source on all transactions starts July 1st. But the government maintains that taxation does not mean legalization. For Forecast, I'm Monica Ghosh in Goa, India.
Over in Switzerland, the annual World Economic Forum is underway in Davos, and Forecast editor-in-chief Angie Lau is there. She caught up with Sheila Warren, a Davos veteran who was formerly with the World Economic Forum and is now the CEO of the Crypto Council for Innovation. And together they take a deep dive into the evolution of the crypto conversation among world leaders and how that's playing out at Davos.
So my first Davos as a forum staff person when I founded the blockchain team was 2018. And at that time, crypto was everywhere like it is now. But the difference was it was Crypto Chalet, Crypto House, Bitcoin Plaza, whatever. There were no brands attached to it, right? Now you walk down the promenade and you see everything. Circle, Polygon, Filecoin, everybody, right? And these are known brands and known entities. And so to me, just the visual on the maturation of the industry over the last 5 years is fascinating to observe. And you see it just in full force here. So I think that's reflected in the ways that we're seeing some of the world leaders talk about this. People are taking pretty dramatic positions.
Yes, Christine Lagarde, case in point.
That's right. And I think that, a lot of people have shifted roles, including myself, right? So certainly as the head of the ECB, you're going to want to talk about the digital euro and possibilities there, and that's her entire position. But it's quite different from the comments that she made previously, right? And my view on this is we're going to have an ecosystem ultimately, as I've been saying, as you know, from the beginning. Yeah. CBDCs, stablecoin, crypto, they're all going to play a role in this. And particularly as the metaverse becomes, that's a big topic here as well. Yeah. a lot of metaverse conversations happening both inside the Congress Center, on the promenade. A lot of the companies here talking metaverse. How are you going to pay for stuff in the metaverse?
Exactly. What's the ecosystem?
What's the ecosystem?
And so, like, a lot of people are saying, oh, how low is Bitcoin going to go? We have the debacle called Terra Luna, stable coin, complete melt off. And, against that backdrop, do you still feel like people are engaged?
Very much so. And so again, I think just walking around here, you get a sense of just how active this conversation is and how people are looking at a new augmented reality driven metaverse experience that will create more fluidity between our online and offline experiences. Ties into the fact that remote work is not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
Right? I mean, we're happy to be here. I'm so happy to
yes,
be here.
I know this is the first time.
We've engaged virtually very effectively for a long time.
Yes.
And so a lot of people understand that reality and they're looking to say, how do we cement that? How do we make that even more workable for more of the population? People can have choice about where they want to live and what they want to do and how they want to travel and where. And I think sadly we're in a world where climate migration, more this monkeypox, more and more kinds of God knows what restrictions we're going to see.
Please don't talk about another endemic.
Don't summon the Kraken, right?
Please.
But it's kind of like if we're going to have restrictions on movement, or we're going to have to quarantine for 7 days somewhere to go there, we're going to have to figure out how to work together in an online environment.
Thanks for that, Angie. And of course, we'll be keeping a watch for anything else coming out of discussions at Davos. The contagion from the Luna UST crash wiped out $300 billion from the crypto markets, and Bitcoin, the largest of them all, bled the most. According to CoinGlass, a crypto analytics tracker, Bitcoin derivatives traders lost over $1.2 billion due to liquidations. So what lies ahead for the OG of the crypto world and other old coins? Benjamin Stanley, Business Development and Sales Director at Matrixport, joins in to talk about just that. Great to have you with us again, Benjamin.
Good to have me back. Thank you.
Now, the market sell-off after the Luna crash was quite brutal, and it didn't spare retail or institutional investors. Bitcoin derivative traders got whiplashed in both long and short positions, losing billions after Luna collapsed. But are we now stabilized around that $30,000 mark on the Bitcoin?
Things have been very turbulent after the Luna fallout. BTC volumes briefly spiked over 150% when they went down all the way to 25K, but then also quickly rebounded to 30K, and we've been holding this level since, basically. There's initial fear for further systemic risk, and we briefly had USDT trading at 97 cents on the dollar, but that also quickly reversed. And I think the more time that's passing now, and with us having seen any major blow-ups, I think it's just showing that actually we can rule out more and more systemic risk. And volatility levels have actually been back to pre-Luna now. So in Bitcoin, that's around 70-80%. I think going forward, our market outlook will be more macro-dependent, and all eyes will be on the Fed and the US rate hike cycle and potential quantitative tightening around there.
Well, altcoins also had it pretty rough. Phantom, Cardano, Avalanche, just a few names among hundreds that were seeing double-digit cuts in the Luna aftermath. What's the outlook for them?
Yes, so you're right. Every time there's stress, we see liquidations. Bitcoin, as I said before, went to 25K and then rebound. And for alts, it's even more extreme because volatility is higher, and so they drop even more and find lower bottoms. But then we saw the same effect. Once they found the bottom, the bounce was even stronger. Now, overall, alts are much lower because if you bounce 50% after an 80% drop, you're lower than if you bounce 25% after a 40% drop. However, you can see how leverage is playing a role here. And in essence, these program stop losses always cause further downward liquidations. And with higher volatility in alts, these stop losses will kick earlier because the leverage providers, the exchanges, will want to protect themselves, and so they start liquidating your positions earlier. Now, I do want to say that in the current market environment, it's very challenging. So I personally recommend to be very careful if you take tactical leverage.
And talking about altcoins, ETH has been fairly resilient. How are you approaching the second biggest crypto, especially as there are big changes in the wings for it with that transition to a proof of stake chain?
I think we might be rubbing a few people the wrong way calling ETH an altcoin. I feel like most of crypto consensus is already putting Ethereum into the same blue chip bucket like Bitcoin. There's a lot of things going on under the hood with Ethereum, and the transition to proof of stake is clearly the one that everyone's watching. But there's also some other things going on. There's a debate, for example, on decentralization or the lack of decentralization with some important vectors like centralization of staking providers. There's a high-level debate the last couple of days where they were talking about what is the right max for one staking provider to have a masked off staking service, because at the moment Lido has about 30% of all staked Ethereum. So that's clearly not decentralized. So I think there's a few things happening on the Ethereum side, and the proof of stake transition is clearly the major one that everyone is watching. We've been told that it's supposed to happen before the end of the year. It's been delayed a couple of times, but market consensus seems to be that it's actually happening this time. And what you hear from the developers that it's all hands on that project. So I think if successful, this will certainly impact our entire crypto ecosystem and will shape the way that the market is looking forward on Ethereum.
ETH 2.0 could certainly be a game changer, and I'm sure we'll be talking a whole lot more about it as well. Thanks for all the insights, Benjamin.
Thank you very much.
And finally, a crypto mining farm has been discovered in a most unlikely place, Russia's oldest prison. According to Bitcoin.com, a deputy warden of Butyrskaya prison in central Moscow allegedly mined cryptocurrency in the facility, and they're now under investigation on suspicion of stealing electricity to do so. Citing investigators, the report said the mining equipment was installed in November in the prison's psychiatric clinic and was in operation until February this year. The setup consumed electricity costing over 62,000 rubles, of over $1,000 in government funds. It's not the first time mining activities have been found in an unusual location. Last September, the CEO of Tehran's stock exchange stepped down after an illegal mining operation was discovered in the basement of the Burj building. And that's the Daily Forecast from our vantage point right here in Asia. For more, visit forecast.news. I'm Forecast Megha Chaddah. Until next time.